It's time for the word for God's children. Parents, if your children are not in the room, go ahead and invite them in. Hi, everybody. Have any of you guys ever been fishing before? Did you like it? Was it fun? I gotta say, I'm not really a huge fan of going fishing. I only really like it when I actually catch the fish, but when I don't catch anything, it just sounds kind of boring. I mean, you're just sitting there waiting for a fish to come, and sometimes they don't even show up. I remember my brother was telling me about a fishing trip he went on, and he said that he sat out there all day and couldn't catch a single fish. That little story about his fishing trip reminds me of a story in the Bible about some men who had a fishing experience similar to my brother's until Jesus came along. One day, Jesus was standing by the Sea of Galilee. A large crowd of people started to gather around him. He saw some fishermen nearby who were cleaning and mending their nets. So he climbed into one of their boats. He asked one of the men, whose name was Peter, to put the boat a little out away from the shore. And then he sat in the boat and preached a sermon. When he had finished teaching, Jesus said to Peter, "Put the boat further out into the deep water and let down your nets to catch some fish." "We've been fishing all day and haven't caught anything, but if you say so, we'll let down the nets one more time," Peter answered. And something amazing happened. When they started pulling their nets up, there were so many fish that the nets began to break. As they pulled the fish into the boat, there were so many that the boat even began to sink. When Peter and his fishermen saw this, they were astonished and even a little bit frightened. Jesus said, "Do not be afraid. From now on, you will fish for people." The Bible tells us that they pulled their boats up onto the shore, left everything, and followed Jesus. From that day on, Peter and his friends fished for people and brought many into God's kingdom. Jesus wants you and me to fish for people too. It'll be a little different than actually going fishing, but if we will be faithful in telling people about Jesus and his love, we can trust Jesus to bring in the catch. Let's pray. Dear God, help us to be good fishers for people, faithful to go, patiently